Hey everybody, it's Mike, aka That Reseller Guy. It is Wednesday today, and last week I found an amazing item at a thrift store. Want to share a video just about that one item. It is a sports related item, so it's something that I find very cool. It's very historical. It's a really neat item. It's something that I'm always out there looking for. I'm always looking for items just like this, whether it be at a Goodwill, Savers, or a local mom and pop thrift store. I talk about it all the time when I'm out there hunting. I'll talk a little bit more about it as I get into the exact showing of the item. Try not to give too much away until I cut over to that video. So I hope you enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up if you're new, you like this kind of content, reselling, thrifting, and all that. Please hit that subscribe button down below and help support the channel. All right, let's slide over and check this item out.
All right, here we go, everybody. This is the baseball that I'm talking about. So yeah, when I saw this at the thrift store, they just had a bin of baseballs, and I just kind of saw like this side of the ball sticking out. And I always know that this is a vintage Spalding logo and that this is a vintage National League baseball, and this is a Warren Giles President edition. And I knew he was the president of the National League through like the 50s and maybe the early 40s. I can't remember for sure, but I looked that all up. So when I saw this there, I didn't even look up the names or anything when I was at the thrift store. I just kind of figured I would buy it and figure it out once I got out in the car. Now at this store, all the baseballs are $1.98 each. They don't bag them up. They just have them all there loose. You can sort through them. I have found other autographed baseballs there before. I found just blank Major League Baseballs. A lot of good finds there. But this is obviously by far the best one that I found. So, now, the first thing that I did notice is that it has a lot of staining. I don't know what caused this, but there's no cleaning that off. It is on there for good, and it definitely takes away from the presentation on this baseball. Luckily, the main signature is not in that section. Now, the first thing I always look at is the sweet spot here and look at the manager's signature, because this is usually saved for the manager. And this is Bill Rigney, I think is his name. And I didn't know who that was until I did some research in finding out who this was or who this team signed ball is. The easiest thing is to look for a legible name when you find a random baseball like this. So this was the first one that I found, Ray Catt, and looked him up, and I saw that he did play in the major leagues from 1952 to 1959. Most of his years with the New York Giants in the early 50s. So that's where I started. So just started looking for other names that I could identify, and some of them are a little tougher. Like this one is, I think, Marv Grissom. And I kept looking around, and it wasn't until I got to this side over here that I saw down at the bottom that I know that this is a vintage Willie Mays autograph. I've had a few team signed balls in the past where he signed them and knew that this was a legit signature. So yeah, so now I'm looking definitely at a very valuable baseball. This one here, again, I knew it was going to be in the early to mid 50s. Doing some more research, I kind of went through and started looking at the 1955, 56, 57 New York Giants rosters and was able to start figuring out some names on there. So yeah, right here in the middle, we have Foster Castleman. I'd never heard of him, but obviously looked the name up. So yeah, we had Ray Catt. This is Marv Grissom. We have Jim Constable right here. This is Wayne Terwilliger. And again, some of these names are signed this way, others are signed this way. So yeah, as I flip through here, I'm going to just show all the different sizes and read off some of the names that are on here. Some of these were a little bit tougher to read because they were in this gook over here. But some of the names that I found are Bill Rigney, the manager, Ray Catt, Dusty Rhodes, Marv Grissom, Ramon Monzant, Foster Castleman, Gil Cohn, C-O-A-N, Wayne Terwilliger, Don Mueller, Jim Margoneri, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Jim Constable, and Al Worthington. Oh, and Hank Thompson as well. Now, there were a few others that I wasn't able to identify, or at least clearly identify, so those were the only names that I put in the listing. Then obviously we do have the Willie Mays signature, as I stated. So now on a baseball like this, I looked it up, and was able to determine that it's probably the 1956 team. There were one or two players that didn't play in 57 and a couple that didn't play in 55. And Bill Rigney wasn't the manager a couple of those years as well. So I'm figuring this is a 1956 signed team baseball. Now, to get this authenticated through Beckett or JSA or one of those companies, they charge a lot to authenticate a baseball. I believe it's like $125, something like that. Now, if this were super clean and I was going to get top dollar for it, I might pay the money to get it done. But as it stands, I went ahead and listed it as is, and it's in my store right now for $300 or best offer. Again, I paid $1.98 for this. Now, other team balls from that era sell anywhere from, I've seen as low as $400 and up to about $700 and $800 for some good clean signed balls. So yeah, this is it. This is what I found. It's an amazing find, and it was just sitting in a bin of baseballs at a local thrift store. It's one of the places that I always check, especially at this store and other stores. If they have hanging bags with 3 or 4 baseballs in them, I look at them. I found Hall of Fame signed baseballs. I've seen other team signed baseballs. It's just amazing what I found in some of these thrift stores through the years. So going to add this to one of my great finds. Hopefully it sells here shortly so I can put it in some of my into my top sales of 2020 video. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Again, this is a 1955 or 1956 team signed New York Giants baseball. And if you're confused why I'm calling them the New York Giants, yes, the San Francisco Giants played in New York until 1957 when they moved to San Francisco. And yeah, I'd love to hear your comments down below. So.
All right, that's everything I got for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed making this video. Finding this item at a thrift store was an amazing find. It's one of those things that once or twice a year you find a very unique item like this. So very excited, and yeah, I'm hoping that this gets sold relatively quickly and I can find it a new home. So that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you next time.